Birdman. I don't know that one, Bruce. Jeez. I'm not used to being wired up, so I'm going to just do something like that. Excellent. Ant-Man. I'm just reading over your shoulder. That's great symbolism there. Excellent symbolism. Oh, yes, that's already been chosen. Very good. You can speak up when she finishes writing that. Or actually, you can write that one, yeah? I think Mr. John is almost done. Maybe type it up on the computer, yeah? Type it up on the computer so we have it nice and big. Yeah, I know. I'm not used to being mic'd up, so maybe you can fix this. That's a beautiful song, by the way. Thank you. I love that song. Avengers 2, good, good, good. The Black Swan, put that one up. Put that one up, David. That's a great movie and a great, oh, that one's already been talked about. No, I thought you did Inception. Okay, I thought you did Inception. Okay, why don't you write that one up, please, David? Bruce, why don't you come up here and write something up here? I think you had the same one, though. Oh, yeah. I haven't seen that one, so I don't know. But you can explain it to us. Okay, so we have, from John, we have the movie Inception, where the main character gets into other people's dreams. He gets into other people's dreams for information. The characters are using their minds to create the whole world in the dream and control it. Awesome, John. Very well done. Very well done. John, pick up the microphone, please. What did you like about the movie? Give us one scene. Give us something that you liked about the movie that has this element of magic realism in it. One scene that you remember or one aspect of the movie that you remember?
I remember in the last part of the movie.
Thank you very much.
The whole world in the main character's subconscious field, and the whole world is collapsing.
Okay, so what John just said, for those of you taking notes, is in the final scene that we're in the main character's subconscious. We're in his subconscious, and that whole world, his whole world in his subconscious is collapsing. And it's a very physical representation of this magical realism. For him, in his mind, that world exists. For him, in his mind, that world is suddenly collapsing. Who here has seen Inception? 1, 2, 3. Anyone else like this movie for any other reasons? Anyone else have seen these scenes? Michael, what do you think? Press the bottom.
I like this movie because I like the technologies look so cool. Like people can use the technology to go into other streams.
Okay, so you like it because of the technology, which is also part of magical realism. Is there an actual drug that we can take and then enter other people's dreams? Is that something that's technologically possible, where we can take a drug? That's how they entered other people's dreams. They would wait until they're in a dream state, and then they would use technology to get into their dreams to try to manipulate them, to try to change their ideas, We have a few other examples here. Le Petit Prince, elements a planet of gold, and symbolism is limitless desire and greedy nature. Interesting. Who wrote that one? Yes, Doris. Pass that back to Doris, please. Doris, what did you see in Le Petit Prince?
In this movie, the little prince went on a planet where there is full of golden treasure, but we all know that it is impossible to have a planet full of gold. But the author write this sort of to symbolize that humans have like greedy needs, that they're desiring for the gold, and that sort of can make them happy, but that's all they have, and they have nothing else.
Okay, excellent, excellent. And so the symbols were limitless desire and greedy nature. Excellent. The black swan. Anyone seen Black Swan? No? Okay. Anyone see or read 1,000 Years of Solitude? Only one person. Okay. Okay. We will move on. Excellent examples, ladies and gentlemen, of magical realism. We're going to now turn to your books, where we're reading this story by this man here, by Mr. Julio Cortazar. Okay, we're going to turn to your books. We're going to deal with this quote in just a minute, the quote from him. We're going to do that in just a minute. Quiero que no te que solamente quiero la imposibilidad tan obvia de quererte, como el guante izquierdo enamorado de la mano derecha. I've been teaching them Spanish too in the last 2 weeks, so they're really, really good. They're really good. The quote, this is what the quote really means in English. It means, actually, let's have Alan read this quote, please. Oh, this is a simpler mic. I like that mic.
I believe that I don't love you, that I only love the more obvious impossibility of loving you, like the left glove loves the right hand.
Very good and very powerfully, deeply said. I love that, Alan. Very well done. So we discussed this, and then I had you write about this. So right now, for about 3 minutes, I want you with your partner. First of all, ladies and gentlemen, why did I give you this quote of the day? What does this have to do with magical realism? Why did I give you this quote? Vaughn, do you have something? Why did I give you this quote last week?
Because it's from this author. And I think the impossibility of loving you is like really magic realism. I don't know why.
Okay, we're going to talk about this because you wrote about these for homework. But why would I give you this quote from Cortazar? What were you trying to understand?
I don't quite. Maybe the left glove and right hand are both symbolism or symbolic of something?
Yes, but why did I give you a quote by the man?
Or maybe
his background.
Yes, very good, Fiona.
His background.
Say that louder, please.
To understand his background and his family.
Yes, excellent. Abby, grab that mic.
And also learn how, what is his writing skill and writing style. Like, we will read his short story today, so we need to know better about him.
Yeah, I don't know how to turn that one off. Excellent, Abby. In order to understand someone's writing, we need to understand where the person comes from. As Fiona says, we need to understand their life, their family, their motivations. That's why I gave you the poem. So I'd like you all for about 3 minutes just to discuss what you wrote about this poem, how you defined it, and then we're going to share out, and then we're going to get into the story. So maybe about 1.5 minutes. You three talk, and then you three. So you're with. Discuss like you guys do all the time. What did you write about this poem?
It's just like you said last time that one right hand glove can also fit your left hand glove.
Yeah, in a very particular, in a very particular situation, the left glove might just fit the right hand.
Okay, so what is he saying here? What did you write? What did you write for your quote of the day?
Well, I don't quite understand what does it mean by impossibility of loving.
Okay, so discuss that. What does that mean, the impossibility of loving this person? What does that mean?
It's kind of give us a distance from you and the people you actually don't love.
Is that a contradiction that I actually love you, but
paradox?
But I can't love you?
Write that up there, please. Luke, write that up there right now, please. I'm listening. I'm just listening.
I think Julio loves.
Julio.
Julio loves more of the possibility of pursuing the the love more than he loves the love itself.
Interesting, interesting. I'd like you to write this up as well. Actually, you're not going to write this up. We're just going to have you say it, and they're going to copy this down because we're running out of time. So why don't... Can I have your attention for a minute? You guys are all having great conversations, loving it, loving it. Doris has a way of looking at this quote the way Luke does. Yeah, Luke, Luke, you can type this up here. Maybe a little bit faster.
It's okay, I can write on the phone.
Okay, you don't want to type? All right. Doris, go for it. Matter of fact, Doris, I will type what you're saying. Go for it. I'm a good typer.
From the quotes, I think Julio Cortazar loves more of the impossibility of pursuing the love more than he loves the love itself.
Possibility of pursuing the love?
Yeah.
Then then love itself?
Yeah, then love itself.
Excellent. Alan and, I'm sorry, and you guys keep moving around and mix me up. And yeah, I was going to say that. Alan and Alex, what did you come up with? Where's that microphone? I don't care if you're team members or not. No, you can speak. Alex, you can speak. What did you come up with?
We think that the author really doesn't love this person he's talking about, but he only loves the way of not being able to love her.
He loves the way of not being able to love her. That's interesting. So, like what Mr. Luke is writing is the contradiction. Oh, he doesn't have that word yet. Put that up in big letters, please. Contradiction. He
loves the feeling that he will never love her, but yeah.
Interesting. So this is a contradiction. He loves the feeling that he will never actually love her. Keep this in mind, ladies and gentlemen, when we are reading this story. Key words that I would write down in my notebook if I were a student would be contradictions. Contradictions, I would write down that it just doesn't seem to make sense. He's trying to love the possibility of something that's impossible. So as we look through the story, please keep this in mind. We've looked at a quote from this man to understand where he's coming from, to better understand what he's writing about. And as Luke has written, the more impossibility of loving you, in quotes, conveys the vague connotation that I do love you, but I can't love you. So there's a very deep, I do love you, but I can't love you. It's impossible. And as we said the other day, where we have a left-handed glove, well, we have a left-handed glove. How is it possible this left-handed glove can love the right hand? It's impossible. Except, who brought it up? Was that Plus who brought it up that said, but you know what? You can always just take this glove off here, and it fits on here perfectly well. So it's no longer a contradiction. It's a matter of the left-handed glove loves the right hand as much as the right-handed, I don't even know what I'm saying, as much as the right hand loves the glove itself. Yeah. Plus said it better last week. Plus said it much better last week. I think this is a better way of looking at it, that there's a contradiction, that most gloves do not have the fact that we can switch. They're not ambidextrous. They are one side fits one hand. Okay. Let's get back into our focus. So as we were reading this story, we were looking for symbols. And as we had yesterday, the door was a symbol. Aside from, let's take a look at page 315, please. Let's take a look at page 315. As a matter of fact, let's start to read slightly from, when is it? Okay. Let's start to read from page 114, from the beginning. Round robin reading, just grab a mic and start to read from page 114. And we're going to just take a look at this question, aside from Irene's knitting symbolizing the need for order, the need for things to be a meaningless routine. What other symbols could these knitting needles be? What other symbols could this whole action of knitting be? So let's start just reading out loud, please. And as we read, look for other symbols. Look for other deeper meanings of other things within the story. Anyone who's got a mic can start reading. No, I mean into the mic, into the mic.
Isolation. She just keep meeting, but without talking to anyone except the male.
Okay, her brother. Yeah, her brother. Yeah.
So
Keep with that. Keep with that.
At times, that was had kept us from marrying. Irene turned down 2 suitors for no particular reason, and Maria either went and died on me before we could manage to get engaged. We were easing into our 40s with the unvoiced concept that the quite simple marriage of sister and brother was the indispensable end to a line established in this house by our grandparents.
Let me ask you something. Why do you have that bracketed off like that? What about that? Why do you have that bracketed off?
I think it's about why the sister and they also want to live in that house.
Okay.
And it's kind of like talk about the background, about her family, and about her daily life introduced.
Excellent. Excellent. So it's introducing. Where is it? Oh, the painting. That's the next question. The next question on the next page is going to be about how is the house a character? How is the house a character from what you just read here? You're right. You're absolutely right. It's the background information. It's establishing her daily routine and their connections. Very good. Think of this as you just read that as the house as a character. Okay?
Housework was finished, she spent the rest of the day on the sofa in her bedroom knitting. I couldn't tell you why she needed so much. I think women knit when they discover that it's a fat excuse to do nothing at all. But Irene was not like that. She always knitted necessities, sweaters for winter, socks for me, handy morning robes, and bag jackets for herself. Sometimes she would do a jacket, then unravel it the next moment because there was something that didn't please her. It was pleasant to see a pile of tangled wool in her knitting basket, fighting a losing battle for a few hours to retain its shape.
That image right there, what do you see in that image? What literary device is being used right there in that last line that you just read? What literary device? Because that's going to be one of our questions coming up. Were you reading with her? What literary device, Andrew, was used in that last sentence she just used? Yes. Oh, excellent question. Nothing worthwhile had arrived in Argentina since 1939. Did you Google it? No. Because something must have happened in Argentina in 1939. Very good. It could have been a civil war. It could have been a major arrival of some sort.
It's like the similarity between the sister and brothers. They are captive from the outside world.
Very good. They're captive from the outside world. Very good. Excellent. And it's been for decades, right? We have to assume this was written in the 70s. It's been for decades. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let us discuss this now. What other symbols did you guys come up with? What other symbols did you come up with for Irene's knitting needle, aside from what it says there on the side? of our notes where it says, the knitting needle is a symbol of her routine, of her daily monotonous life. What did you guys come up with? Oh, we should put it. Yes, Abby.
I think the knitting also symbolizes something that's important to the sister Erin, since it mentioned that she always needed necessities: sweaters for winter, socks for me, handy morning robes, and bed jackets for herself. So it's like kind of important things for her to do. And in the later passage that he mentioned, when they expelled from the house, the Erin didn't drop his knitting things.
Irene did not drop her knitting things. Yes, she held on to those.
Yeah.
Yes, that's the only thing she had. Very good, very good. Reiterate that again, please, because what was the first part of that? You said? Yeah.
Always needed necessities.
Yes, the necessities. Excellent job, excellent job. So the knitting needle and the action of knitting is not just about daily monotonous routines, but it also symbolizes what? In the narrator's mind. What does it symbolize? According to Abby, it symbolizes necessary things. Where's the marker? Okay. Necessary things. It symbolizes necessary things, according to the narrator. To Irene and to other readers, perhaps, the knitting needle was only a symbol of the grab a mic. Was only a symbol of the monotonous daily routine. However, we can always look deeper, as Abby has done, because she's comparing this one symbol in the beginning of the story to when it reoccurs 3 or 4 or 5 more times later on in the story. Yes, go on, Doris.
I think knitting is necessary because Erin needed to, the women needed to spend her leisure time, and I think it symbolizes more of like Erin's obsession with meaningless routine, because on page 315, below the green quotes, there goes, sometimes she would do a jacket, then unravel it the next moment because there was something that didn't please her. So it seems that Erin's life is pretty boring, so she would knit something and then unravel it. So it sort of symbolizes boring routine life.
Okay, can you read that sentence right after that, please? Because that's what Fiona's going to talk about, or someone else. Oh, wait, you had something to say, right, Mandy?
I think the knitted symbolized comfort, because in the following passage we know that the Irene has some mental problem, and the knitting may represent some comfortable things for him to calm her mind.
Excellent. So the knitting needles are not just mundane, routine, daily life, which is what some readers might see. We see 3 or 4 other symbols. We see comfort. We see that this may symbolize a mental defect in both of these, not just Irene, but isn't there something wrong with the brother as well? Possibly. Maybe we're going for a stretch. Luke has a funny look on his face. He doesn't see it yet. When he rereads the story, he may understand later that perhaps the brother also has something a little bit wrong with him. We have Irene's obsession. We have necessary items. The knitting needles are not just mundane things. They're not just mundane actions, because the man loves the new socks he gets. The narrator loves the items that she's making. Can you please read that sentence, Fiona? Because we're getting into the next part of this.
It was pleasant to see a pile of tangled wool in her knitting basket fighting a losing battle for a few hours to retain its shape.
Yes, read that one more time.
It was pleasant to...
Stop. Everyone listen to what literary device is being used here, because that was one of the questions I was posing later on. House as a character was Mandy, and what other literary... where is it? Anyway, what other literary devices are being used in this sentence and throughout the story? Please read it one more time.
It was pleasant to see a pile of tangled wool in her knitting basket fighting a losing battle for a few hours to retain its shape.
Yes, what literary device is that, please? All at once. 1, 2, 3. Yes, personification. It was pleasant to see the shape of this thing unravel. She would make something and then she'd unravel it. She'd make something and then she'd unravel it. She'd make something, and it was almost a game to see how this sock, this glove, became undone again. Which could be a symbol for what? The unraveling, constantly unraveling, could be a symbol of what? Take the mic, please. Take the mic.
Like mental distraction.
Mental destruction?
Yeah.
Possibly. Maybe a mental breakdown or the unraveling of the human mind, perhaps. Pass it back to Abby. You've been hogging the mic all day. You're going to be an MC one day. Go for it, Abby. Then Doris.
Okay, and I think that it's also.
I'm listening. I'm sorry.
I think unraveling the wool sort of symbolized that Erin wants to unravel the myth of her life, what she's gonna do in the rest of her life.
Oh, excellent, excellent. She's trying to figure out what she's gonna do, or she's unraveling her future.
Yeah.
Beautiful, beautifully said. I love that. Are you guys writing this down? It's a possibility that Irene is unraveling her future, her possibilities.
And I think it's also a foreshadowing. Since in the later passage it mentioned insomnia, the more and more northeast sounds growing in his house in the nighttime.
Right. So there's growing insomnia, and that's part of it, the unraveling of...
Just like the Bruce said, the mental distribution, like that, depression or something. Distraction, sorry.
Mental destruction, mental depression, it's all kind of the same thing. Excellently done, ladies and gentlemen. Time is running a little short. We are going to continue this, as we always do. We're going to break down, we're going to deconstruct the rest of the story. Your homework tonight is to continue looking through this, not only for these symbolic aspects, but also other literary devices, other aspects of Mr. Cortazar's life, from the quote of the day, things that, see if there's any other contradictions, and who took over the house, or what took over the house. That's our question for Thursday. Who or what took over the house? On that post-it, please, briefly write down, you don't need to put your name, briefly write down one aspect of magic realism that you understand that might be different from other genres. Just on that post-it, just write down one thing, not looking for a book, but it's your exit slip. Once you finish that, you may leave. There should be 3 there. There should have been 3 altogether. Do you have 2? John's hogging. I think you have 2 or 3 down here as well, Aurelia. Oh. Just write one thing. Oh, you're still running. Just write one thing on that post-it as your exit slip, and that'll conclude today. You guys understand your homework? You're continuing to reread this story. Pull out elements of magic realism. Pull out elements of symbolism, which is the biggest aspect of magic realism. What about this story is magic realism? What about it is magic realism? Okay, because this is a little bit difficult to see the magic realism in it, but what about it? Okay, give me your Post-its and you may leave. I thank you all very much. You don't need to put your name on them, just... Actually, I should get a piece of paper. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks. I should get a piece of paper. Just stick them right into there. Pink. Funk, thank you. Thank you. Thanks. Excellent job, ladies and gentlemen. You did really very well, and I thank you for your cooperation. You don't want to be late to your next class. Did you write on the wrong side, Bruce? That's okay. Yeah, you guys got to get to your next class, okay? Thank you all for your cooperation. I'll see you on Thursday. Don't forget to bring your journals and your reading logs. Okay, see you, Mandy. Have a great day. See you.
我们再次感谢14中的学生和 Mr. Sean Carson。接下来我们请14中 AP 课程的另一位老师 Apple 说2句话啊。Please.
Good afternoon. I'd like to tell you that I've watched Sean Carson teach several times, and this is how he teaches. So this was not a show that he put on for you. This is, in fact, how he conducts his classes all the time. I want to point out a couple of things. Point out a couple of things he does right. Actually, he does a lot of things right. In Western education, there are a lot of things that we are very interested in, and one of them is what we call student-directed learning. And as you noticed, while he guided the students to thought areas where he wanted them to go, he didn't tell them what to think. And that's a very important aspect of student-directed learning, and he does that very well. Using the Socratic method of asking questions, one of the things that Sean does that I try to encourage all my teachers to do is directed questioning. Not, can anybody tell me? But, Mary, John, talk to me. You get much better response from your students when you do that, and you get a way of really involving all of them. Okay, so he does that very well, and that's something that we encourage. I think you noticed in part of it, he had group discussions. And we like group work. We like a lot of group work. Group discussions, and there are a couple of really good benefits from group work. One is it gets them speaking English to each other, mostly, sometimes, you know, if we can really impress. And the more English they use, the better their English gets. And of course, the goal is good English, so they are successful when they get to the West. So group work is very important for that. Another thing that group work is very, very useful for, and you saw it here with Sean's class, is that it enables all of the students to be doing something. There isn't a kind, certainly part of the time, you know, Abby tell me, John tell me, okay, they're listening. But when you get them doing group work, they're all involved in doing something. Talking about something, manipulating something, in my class, coloring something.
各位老师，我们经过1天半的头脑风暴，听了6节课，不同风格。我在微信圈里面已经看到很多老师在说，听到了不同的男神女神的课啊。非常精彩。的确，我们在1天半的时间里面欣赏了非常精彩的6堂课。那么，我想呢，就是我们杭州的老师我们呈现这不同的6堂课，教学内容也不一样，方法使用的也是不一样。然后有外国的，有外籍的男神女神，也有中级的本土的男神女神，所以各种各样的风格，我们杭州老师。首先要上开胸怀，你不要去说他们的学生很好，他的素质很好，我肯定不行。你如果是这样的话，你肯定已经把自己封闭起来。我们先打开，然后我们再来看看这些课里面哪些东西我们可以学到，然后用于我的教学实践。我希望我们经过若干年的这样的交流，我们的老师越来越国际化。好，我们今天的活动就到此为止。然后我们谢谢杭州第14中学承担了这次会议，谢谢大家的到来，我们来年再相会。